You know what today is? It's Tag Tuesday. We're also Christmas in July, and today we're going to play with Tim Holtz stuff. So, jump on in, grab your collage medium, your tag bases, and your Timmy ephemera and paper dolls, and let's get started. Good morning, it's Kelly with Kelly's Creative Dream Studios. And we're going to talk about some things today as we put together this tag. If this becomes too much of an issue, I think I can do that and get rid of a little of the glare. I hardly ever use my Timmy mat, and I wanted to use my Timmy mat this morning because we are going to be messing with collage medium. Let's see if I've got a baby wipe here I can pull out. It's not a wet one, but we'll be able to use it because I have my Tim Holtz squeezy bottle. I also have coffee. It is early. I had some problems with my sugar yesterday. I ate something I shouldn't have, and it just kind of sent me off into Never Never Land. So I don't think I'm going to need this. I'm going to move it out of the way so I have room to put my coffee. My Mr. jug is here, and I'm going to go ahead and mist my towel really quick. Just because your baby wipes dry out doesn't mean you have to pitch them. Just hit them with some water, or if you look on Pinterest, you'll find recipes for making your own baby wipe solution that you can rehydrate everything. So today, as I said, we're going to talk about Timmy. Thought I was going to use this, but I'm not going to need it because I have my glass mat. So we're going to be good. Let me see if I turn this off, what happens. I think we might still be good. We'll see. So we're starting with a tag. And one of the reasons I wanted to do this today was I wanted to talk about some of Tim's tips that he gave in that Christmas in July class with Heidi from Simon Says Stamps, and get you started on actually collaging. Now, several years ago, well, maybe not several, but a couple of years ago, we were doing the mystery tags, and that's kind of what we're going to do today. If you remember the mystery tags, where you just went ahead and you glued everything down, and you didn't worry about your edges, you let stuff hang over, and then you flipped it over and cut your edges off, and then that's when you got to see the real magic of what you had created, and that's what we're going to do today. Now, Tim suggests a couple of things. Hang on, Spirit's decided he needs out, because he's claustrophobic. Come on, Bubby. Go on. Tried to get him to go out before I started recording, and he wasn't interested. Now, one of the things that Timmy suggests, I keep calling him Timmy like he's a little boy, but you know, he'll be the first to tell you he's 5 years old. So I'm okay with calling him Timmy, and I hope he is too. But he suggests going through your ephemera pieces and pulling out ones you want to work with. If you narrow your focus from the beginning, this becomes a much easier project because you're not pilfering through everything. So narrow your focus. Pull out the paper dolls you might want to work with. And I picked out 2 or 3 here. But I think I've already narrowed my focus down, and I think it's going to be her. So I'm going to set her there. And then find pieces that you aren't in love with, because you're going to cover them up eventually. You're just creating a background. And so I picked this one. This is one Tim had picked out that was not his favorite. This one may also fall into that category for me. I'm not sure yet. But then I have all kinds of little bitty pieces of ephemera that I pulled out of the ephemera pack that I can pick from. And I'm going to dump them out over here on my table next to where I'm working so I can pilfer through them. And anything I don't use, by the time I get done covering this, I'll put them back in this tray and get them out of my way. So I'm going to sit down for this, see how we do. Now, if you have the jar of collage medium, by all means use it. We got this small one in our kit. And one of the things Tim talked about was, you know, could you use matte medium? Sure, you could use matte medium. Collage medium is going to dry faster. So as you're putting layers together, if you want to sit down and do a tag all in one swap, you're going to want something that's going to dry, or you're going to want to have your heat gun handy. So I'm just going to squeeze a dollop onto my mat. And anything in the center pretty much is going to be hidden first. But I'm going to go ahead and start up here at the top. And Tim said he likes to take and have a, well, he wants stuff hanging off the edge. He also wants to make sure that he starts with a registration point and putting something right up against the edge. And I'm going to pick this up because I didn't put my glasses on and I'm not quite awake yet. And get that in there. Right up against that edge first. Now you're not going to come back over top of everything and put a new coat down. You're not going to do that yet. We're just doing the base. And I'll get to another tip here in a minute. But as you pick out your ephemera, you're going to want, it's for narrowing your options. Decide, if you don't have a lot to look at, you're more apt to make progress. And I thought I had some bigger pieces. Aha, here it is. If I can pick it up. So I liked this. See, it doesn't quite go over there, so I'm going to see if I can pick this up and scooch this over a little bit. And I may have to do more glue later. But don't forget, we're going to come back and we're going to cover the whole thing with the matte medium when we're done. And I'm going to go ahead and throw this. I thought about this because I really like having the pink, the colored edges, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to go with it. And I do want to make sure I get some of that collage medium over top where I want that to lay down. Now see, I'm going to have a little bit of a dot there. That's okay. We got this covered. Maybe I shouldn't be putting my brush down this morning. It's too early for that. Okay, so I'm going to come down here. And I'm going to make sure I go over the top of that edge a little bit. I'm not so much involved with the house as I am wanting to go this way. And see, I need to come up on top of this more so I can lay that down. And here's the other tip that he gives, is when you put those pieces down, burnish them down into place with a paper towel. And that's something I hadn't done yet. Forgot about that. Now see, I don't have any glue down here on this bottom at all. Any collage medium. So we're going to come back and we're going to do that. And we're just going to burnish that down. And really impress that piece into the glue. And then let's see, I'm going to need a little bit more collage medium. I'd probably use less if I hadn't dropped the brush in the middle of it. And got it everywhere. Now, neat thing is I can take this top off and I can fill this with the collage medium from the jar if I want to have something transportable. Now, I really liked this. And I want to go this way with it, but I don't want to cover up the special delivery part. So instead of cutting it off, I'm going to take this and I'm going to run a brush of the collage medium down. And then I'm going to scoot this up above this, just so it butts up against the edge of that. Now, this does mean that I have a space down here too, but that's okay. That's okay. We're going to take care of that here in just a minute. As soon as I turn things back over to where I can see what I've got, and reaching for that last piece, I turned everything upside down and now I can't see a thing. The other thing I wanted to use was I like this urn, but it leaves me a lot of blank space there. So I think instead, I don't like that hanging off of there. I think I'm going to go with this. Not the one I want. But I do have this here. And I can put this right here. And of course this morning I had all kinds of work I was going to get done. And Bob got woken up by a tick driving him absolutely crazy. So he got up with me. But he's sitting at the table watching his videos on Facebook. He's fine while I get a couple of things done this morning. And then we'll break and we'll do breakfast together. Now I've got this space up here. This would have been kind of perfect for that, but I don't want it next to that. So instead, That one would work, but it's still a little... But I'm okay with this being here because I think that little spot's going to get covered up anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this in here because I like that pop of red with that ticket. So see, I've got a little bit of a gap there, but by the time I put my paper doll on there, we're not going to see that anyway, so no biggie. And then we got to figure out something to put down in this corner. 2 linear peppermint. I could put this down here and let this balance this out. I think I'll do that. And then I'm going to have a little space to put something, but that's okay. I'm going to put this one right here. And then I'm going to come back and put a little bit of that collage medium here. And I'm going to put this. This? Yeah, we're going to put that down there. Now, it really may look like a conglomerate mess at this point, but that's okay. Remember, we're talking about the magic here that happens when we do this. And I really wish I'd have used the brighter red there, but I didn't. Also, I could have put that there, but by the time I lay her over this, that's going to hide. So we need to put something little over here. The other thing Tim talks about is to make sure that you know, you have stuff hanging over, and that's fine, because when you cut pieces off, then that's going to give you more scraps to work with for future collage projects. So you're not wasting anything. And I think I am going to go ahead. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to put one of these stamps here. These have to be cut. They're not... Well, they are perforated. I thought he said they weren't, but they are. So I'm going to cut those off. And I'm going to stick this right there. How about if we put it right side up, though? Let's do that. And it looks like I might have waited a little too long to get that on there. So let's put that into place and cover that spot. And now we're good. Okay, it looks like an utter mess right now, but watch what happens when we do this next step. I need to get up underneath here, and I'm going to spritz my table. Collage medium, when it dries, it's, you know, you can't do anything with it with water afterwards, so try to wipe it up as soon as you can and get it off of your table. I'm going to come back in and wipe this off here. And until I can get to that glue spot over there, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just wet that area. Wet my brush. And I'll clean that up in a minute. Right now I want to take and come back in with my scissors. And see, I've got a part here that didn't glue. I'm probably going to wish I hadn't done that water yet. So we'll... But we're going to seal it again here in a minute, so that's okay. But we're going to take and pick this up. And see, you've got all kinds of stuff hanging off, but that's okay. We're going to come back here. And I probably should have put my glasses on for this. You know, the one that's got collage medium down the front of them. That's going to help me see really well, right? We'll clean them in a minute. Right now, I just want to focus on getting our pieces clipped off. And this is going to be a slightly longer video this morning because I didn't record it last night and I should have. But sometimes at the end of the day, you're just done, you know? And I could wait and do this, upload this tomorrow, and I don't want to do that either. So this video is probably coming to you a little bit late because it's going to take 3 hours for this to upload. But it's only 6 o'clock in the morning, so we're good. Now see, I have pieces that I can save. Little bits. And you just kind of look and see, okay, what do I want to keep? This I think I want to keep. This would make a nice tag tab, then I've got these. So I've got these pieces I can keep, and these pieces I'm not going to do anything with, so in the garbage they go. Just like that. Okay, now, the other thing, and you know, I keep telling you I want to be Paula Cheney when I grow up. The girl is amazing. And what Tim does is, now if I wanted to do something with this and put a hole in this, I could do that now. And I think maybe I will, just for the look. I won't do a hole reinforcer. I won't do a rivet of any kind. But I've got the hole there. Now I get to come back in. And I get to coat it with my matte medium. And here's the tip that Paula gave. If you use a brush to spread your matte medium onto here, you're going to get brush strokes. The best thing you can use are your little bunny fingers. And really rub that in good. Now see, I've got this piece pulling up here, and we're going to get that to where it's down. And just kind of roll in a circular motion. The reason you do the circular motion is it lets you get in up against those edges really good. Now I might have got a little bit too much medium on here, but that's okay, or collage medium on here, but that's because, you know, I was squeezing and talking. But if you go in a circular motion, you get up against those edges good, and get everything in, and you just keep rubbing until it starts to get kind of tacky. I'm going to take and come off around my edge here a little bit. But as you rub that in, and it starts to get tacky, when you start sticking to your project, you know your collage medium is starting to dry. See, I'm not there yet, almost. But you want to rub in a circular motion and get into those cracks and crevices. Go in different directions so you're getting up against those edges, just like that. And I can feel it starting to tack. But by doing this, you get into all those little crevices you might miss by doing a brush, because you're not forcing it up against the edges. And you won't have brush strokes when you're done. Just like that. Now, at this point, when you start sticking to it, you can do a couple of different things. You can take your dryer to it, or you can just fan it and get rid of it. Just wave it, and it will dry pretty quickly. And I did have a little fan over here that I bought to use over here in my corner. Okay, so while that's doing that, now we've still got collage medium over here, but I want to wipe it up and I want to start fresh. So I'm going to take and clean my brush off. Clean my table off so that I don't lay stuff in the matte medium, in the collage medium, because I would. I have faith. I'm going to hit that with the spray bottle again and give it another wipe. You know, because I'm OCD like this. And I have hardly ever used my TIMHOLTZ mat because of the glare when I'm filming, but I want to start using it more. Now, see, that's starting to, we're there. Now we can go back and worry about our top dressing. And I really liked her when I saw her. See, I can set her offside. I thought she looked like a storekeeper. And I like that. And then we're going to come back with, I'm going to let her sit there for a minute. And we've got our sticker book. And I told you the other day when we went through that Paula had gone through books. And these are from actual books. The coloring, everything is from books. And I've lost my cheaters. I just had them. There they are. So I can see the book. And I wanted something that kind of went with her. And you don't necessarily have to have one that's going to fit all the way, because you're going to chop it up and give it layers. And that's going to work. Greetings for Christmas Day, thoughts of Christmas, deck the halls with boughs of holly. Filling your stockings, a Christmas greeting. Season of Good Cheer would work, but I really wanted something that had, maybe it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. And we're going to go to this one really quick and scan it. Oh, I love this. 'Tis only a ghost of a Christmas past. I'll have to remember that one. That dear old-fashioned Christmas. I like that one. See if I can get in here and pick it up. Here it is. I'll take and pull that out. And then we're going to go ahead and put her in place so we know where she's going. So I'm going to need a little bit of glass. Oh, no. Don't use those. What did I do with? I think they're still in the box. Let me grab the mini dimensionals. And here I thought I had everything I needed, but let me grab the mini dimensionals out of the box. And I just love these because they're about 1/3 of the thickness of your average dimensional dots, and I love that part. So I'm going to go around here. My tweezers have vanished. Of course they have. That's hooking up. I don't see my tweezers. So I guess we're going to use a pick tool. We'll use Timmy's pick tool here. And they come off really easy. I've had to pick them off of things. Put one on her head. And the other thing he talks about is you don't need to distress your edges on anything because you're not going to see them. I'll make sure I've got her. I don't know if I can get one right there in her foot or not, but I'm going to try. She looks like she has shoulder pads. We're doing on time. 22 minutes. Yeah, this one's going to take a while to upload, but I think it was worth it. And I'm going to put one right there in the center. There we go. Press those into place. I knew I had dropped one off of there. Let's see if we can pick it up off that glass. No, I put it in my coffee cup. Okay. Yeah, the only thing I don't like about these is they seem to come off really easy off the thing, and then you've got dimensionals everywhere. And when you're trying to work through a video and not be online forever, it kind of poses a problem. So I'm going to stick that one right there. I think I got them all figured out. I'm just going to... It's funny because in the video they were talking about, you know, cleaning up, and, you know, this is just, you know, she was wanting a trash can beside her, and he's like, why? Just throw it on the floor. We'll clean up when we're done. Don't waste creative time cleaning up. And I'm trying to embrace that thought. Okay, so I said I wanted to put her over here. And see, now that I've done that, I really didn't need that hole, but, and I won't use it for a hole. I will, it's strictly for, okay. And then he used some of the sellotape, and I like that. But I really have to have my cheaters on. I cannot see a thing these days. I like the darker tone. So I'm going to see if I can peel one of these up. I'll put it right there on that tag as if that tag had torn. And I want to do this one. Now, he says you can wrap it around the back or not. Just give it a tear. And just get rid of it. Now see, I would keep this little piece and move it to another spot. Let's kind of cattywampus it there. And there we go. We have our tag from Tags Christmas. Now, one of the things he did talk, when we're talking about the sellotape, if you put it on before you put your collage medium on, as part of your background. You're not going to get the shine that you get from the sellotape by putting it on top. Okay? So that's it for me in the studio today. I hope you've enjoyed this little collage. I'm going to link Tim's class down below. Go in and check it out and watch for all the little tips that he does in his projects. And I will see you back here Saturday when we're going to continue working with the Winter's Veil wreath. In the meantime, please remember to like, to share, subscribe, and creative Christmas blessings.